That was awesome, man. Welcome to the basement. That's BASSMINT. I'd like to welcome you here. Tell us your name.
Andrew Struve.
Excuse me. Edit that out. Thank you, Andrew, for coming to the basement, man. And we also like to welcome everybody that's watching this around the world. Thank you very much, folks, man. I mean, 225 countries and territories of viewers, over 800,000 views, 3,000 subscribers, and a lot of awesome comments, man. I really appreciate y'all bass players and others for watching this. You ever watch this, man?
Oh, yeah.
Troy bass players.
I've been watching for 2 years, and I finally made it over here because I moved in the area about in September.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about all of that in just a second, because we got some other bass players in the basement hanging out with us, as always. Our gracious host, couldn't do this without him. Trust me, if this man wasn't home, none of us would be here.
That's true.
Thank you, Reg, for Mr. Reginald Canty, for allowing us to use the basement. You know this basement is worldwide now, bro. They coming from all over, from other countries to be in this basement. We done had them come from Canada and Amsterdam, to my knowledge, you know, just to hang out in the, just mostly to hang out in the basement. We got another bass player with us. Tell us your name, sir.
Robert Taylor.
Robert Taylor, welcome to the basement. Thank you for coming to hang out with us, brother. Also, a basement alumni. Tell us your name.
Mo Hughes.
I see you don't have that Ibanez 6-string. What you packing now, bro?
This is Squire Affinity.
5-string. Okay. One day we're gonna talk about why you got rid of a string. You know, reduced the amount of strings. But thank you for coming to hang out with us in the basement. We also have with us in the basement. Tell us your name, sir.
Lance Gully.
Lance Gully, another Detroit bass player in the basement, alumni. We're gonna do an interview with him too, so y'all check out the channel, check out all the interviews. You'll find this awesome bass player's interview. He get to play for us as well. And he's a youngster, very young, only 14 at this time in 2016. So Andrew, let's start by spelling your last name for me.
Struve.
Struve. Struve.
Yes.
See, now I can pronounce it with confidence. At first I was just trying to emulate what you were saying. I didn't really know what I was doing.
Most of my friends just call me by my last name. They're just like, hey, Struve, how you doing?
Well, look, man. First question I'd like to ask you. When did you start playing the bass and why?
I started playing in, I think it was 7th grade, so I was like 13, 14. There was a vacancy open for bass player in the jazz band, and I saw somebody else playing the bass, and I said, that looks like fun. And previously I played flute as well, and that was okay, but I wanted something a little bit more. So the bass became my instrument.
That's awesome. You say about 13. How long? So how long you been playing now, you think?
Let's see here. I gotta do math on the spot. About 16 years.
You started when you was 13 and you've been playing for 16 years, yet you only look 12. So how in the heck how you do that? That's awesome. You look very young. I would have thought you was still in high school, you know?
Nope.
All right, so then you might have a little body of work now. I'm thinking you didn't play with some people because that tapping stuff. What is it with you guys on these Warwick basses? Y'all just don't want to play. You know, they don't just want to play regular bass. They want to tap. They want to thump and plug and all kinds of stuff, man.
I figured I'd pull that. I haven't really tried to play that for somebody before, so I figured I'd make it an exclusive for the Detroit Bass Players channel.
You hear that? Exclusive, folks. All right,
But
so
the most of the time I'm playing just groove bass things. And
okay, so when you play, you been playing with any bands and stuff?
previously, like since I got here in September, I haven't had a chance to meet people and find people to play with. So I need some people to play with. But before that, I was in a, I guess I'd call it a Latin rock band called Cabildo in Grand Rapids. Great group. Check them out on YouTube. Just type in Cabildo in Grand Rapids, and you'll find some great music going on.
Will we get to see you playing with them? I got these
there's
videos.
one, if you type in Cabildo WYCE, I'm playing. So we got to play on the radio one day, and they recorded it.
Oh, that's cool.
Wonderful.
And so you just moved here from Grand Rapids.
Yes.
And if it wasn't for that, you would have been here in the basement a lot earlier, right?
Yes.
But now you're here in the Detroit area, right?
Yep.
Well, give me your city, man. Where you?
I'm just down the road in Ypsilanti.
Oh yeah, okay, that ain't too far from here.
No.
And folks, this guy, he can play. You know, he just moved to this section of the Detroit metro area, so y'all need a bass player. Y'all need to check with Andrew. We're gonna ask him how to get in touch with him at the end of this interview. And if I can hear any other recordings out there of you that I may be able to hear or listen to.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. It's Drew the Bass Player. So my first name's Andrew, and I just threw it in there called Drew the Bass Player.
And what do you have on there?
A couple videos of me playing some salsa music, playing some Led Zeppelin. I'm all over the spectrum. I love playing music. There's no such thing. For me, I don't want to play just one genre. I want to play everything I possibly can.
Anything that inspires you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Prince said. You know, he just passed away here recently. It's like can't categorize his music. If you do, call it inspirational. And inspirational music comes in all genres, you know. So man, I ain't want to keep you, man, but I did have a couple of questions I wanted to ask you. For one, speaking of all genres, who are some of your favorite bass players? Or inspirational or influence or blah blah, you know?
The first one that really got to me was Ray Brown. Hearing Ray Brown play was amazing. I heard it on this record called We Get Requests. There's a track on there called You Look Good to Me that just hit me. It's like, oh, this is amazing what you can do with the bass.
The upright.
Yes. So I played upright for many years. I got to get mine fixed and start playing it again because it's a lot of fun. But after that, Victor Wooten's one of my big heroes.
Okay.
Marcus Miller, Bootsy Collins, all kinds of guys.
Yeah,
They groove, I want to hear them.
Yeah, the list goes on and on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? While I got you, Robert, who's some of your favorite bass players, man? While I got you here.
Actually, Victor Wooten, Stanley Clark, and Louis Johnson. They're the guys I grew up with. And the one I pretty much tried to look at, but haven't been able to emulate, and that's Larry Graham.
Reggie, what about you? Some of yours?
Some of my favorites?
Yeah.
Oh, man. How much time you got?
5 minutes.
Okay, well.
3.
Well, lately, over
2.
the last maybe 10 years, I've been concentrating on fretless. And so I've been listening to a lot of Gary Willis. I've been listening to Jimmy Haslip, Pino Palladino. But if you're on a wider spread as far as listening, because those are the guys that you try to emulate when you're trying to find a new avenue to play. But I listen to the same guys that they listen to, but Jocko, Stanley, Marcus, Lane Carone, Burdine White. So most of your groovers, your hardcore groovers that were around in the 70s, I listened to them.
Right, Verdine of Earth, Wind and Fire.
Right.
And we just recently lost his brother, the founder of Earth, Wind and Fire, Maurice White. A genius, just like Prince. Mo, some of your favorite bass players, man.
A lot of the Motown
Influences.
Yeah, a lot of pretty much all of the Motown bass players. Louis Johnson, Gary Willis, Jimmy Haslett, John Patitucci.
There you go.
In a few words, a lot of the more current fusion bass players coming out of the 70s and 80s. R&B bass players from Motown. And there are a few bass players that there's some songs that I don't know the names of the bass players on. A lot of Tina Marie's song has some heavy groovers too.
Alan
That's one of your
McGreer,
brothers.
Okay.
a Detroit bass player.
All right, yeah, that's Motown.
Yeah,
That's Motown. Let's see what else. Slide.
Yeah, that I forget his name. Right, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Right. It's a lot of the late 70s, and I was just a kid listening to those. But my auntie, my parents, my auntie's uncles, and even all my brothers, my brother and my sisters were older than me. They were grown in the late 70s, but they listened to stuff, and I heard it and I liked it.
And you like that bass, right?
Yes, and I didn't know I liked it until later. I didn't understand what you just don't know until you get older.
Right.
Man, I really didn't like Victor when I first heard him. His tone was real too thin for me, but it grew on me very rapidly when I seen just how virtuosic the boy is. He's virtuoso by any stretch of the imagination. So I try not to count those people out until I give a chance to digest what kind of work they do.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Lance? Some of your influence, favorite bass players and stuff.
Ron Carter, Ray Brown, Abraham Laborio, Chuck Rainey, Jamerson, Jocko, Lamont Johnson.
Wow, a few Detroit bass players in that elite list right there. And you seem like a historian type. You study the history of these bass players too. You go back and listen to the good old stuff and everything. That's cool, man. Keep that up, man. Ralph Armstrong, you ought to hang out with him sometimes too. In fact, I think you have.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
That's one to latch on to, man. Not only Ralph is a great bass player, but a historian of the instrument, man. I just want to get him back in the basement again,
Right.
and let's talk history for real. You know what I mean? I'm talking about putting some desk in here. I'm talking about going to class for real. I'm glad he's still around here. I'm glad Ralph stayed in Detroit. So come back to the basement, Ralph. All right, Andrew, back to you, man. So, besides bass players, you like listening to all genres. You playing if a band needing a bass player decide, okay, yeah, let's go check with him. Any genre that you feel more confident in that you
anything with a groove is a lot more fun to me than I'm not into heavy rock and metal, but anything that has a feel to it, I want to play that.
Okay.
In the previous years I've been playing Latin music. That's a lot of fun. Playing different cumbias, salsas, merengues, bachata. That's a lot of fun. Funk.
Yeah.
The list goes on.
That's crazy. You just named about 5 different types of music.
My main
I ain't
thing
never
is
heard of.
I am somebody that likes to support somebody else. So I try to remove myself as being an important person. Well, I'm an important person to support somebody, but I'm not trying to be all flashy and show off.
Okay. All right. All right, I had some jokes for that, but I'm gonna keep it to myself. 'Cause I mean, I was just thinking about Prince. You know what I'm saying? Who just passed away, and they showing all of this stuff with Prince, and I'm like, so I ain't got to worry about seeing you in no high heels and purple.
No.
I'm sorry, I got Prince on the mind.
Prince was crazy.
Yeah. All right, so look, folks, you need a bass player. This guy can play. He gonna show us in a minute. And if we do want to keep up with you and contact you and all of that good stuff, where could we find you?
If you want to email me, drewthebassplayer@gmail.com. YouTube.com/drewthebassplayer. Yeah, those are the two places you can get it.
You got a
find
Facebook?
Me. Facebook, just find me under the name Andrew Struve, and I'll be right there.
Okay, with all that said, why don't you just play something for us, Andrew?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, a now Detroit bass player, no longer Grand Rapids. He's in Ypsi, Detroit.
Yeah.
We was all, if you from Michigan, I'm still call you a Detroit bass player. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Struve playing with the groove. That's what I'm talking about. Keeping it short and sweet.